Welcome back to tonight's Sad Reality, where the only sad reality worse than taking a 4-hour nap after work is still being tired after that somehow. So tonight I was going to talk about a few things. I really didn't have a better game to play, so fishing gameplay. Thrilling, right? But today just felt surreal. And I actually had to look up what surreal means, because if you look up the definition of surreal, it's using Bing, because for whatever reason, my default browser is Bing, I guess, or Microsoft Edge and Bing. It's like the double whammy for no, don't do this on the internet ever. But if you look up the definition of surreal, you get surrealism. I'm like, okay, that's great. And surrealism, I think, is some like art movement in like the 20th century or whatever that has to do with the unconscious mind. And I was like, wow, that's cool, I guess. But what about today was surreal for me? So I get into work, and I'm usually like a little bit late because, welcome to that Gen Z, that Zoomer vibe of, quite honestly, just not showing up on time, and we're just all chronically late, even though we shouldn't be, and it's really not hard to show up on time, but hey, guess what? I struggle with because I don't know why. I used to not be late either, it just like sort of crept up on me, and life happens, but I'll get into that later. Anyways, my boss was like waiting for me, and he was like, hey, you're gonna interview this, like, we have a bunch of applicants at the store, so you're gonna interview them for me. Good luck. I was like, really? Okay, that's kind of crazy. And of course, it's not word for word, basically. But, he had me do basically a full interview of, someone who's applying for the store. Now, I haven't even been working a full year here yet. So I was like, I'm surprised he trusts me with that information, or that position, or that opportunity, I should say. But it was not very much what I was expecting, especially being a few minutes late. It's like, really? Me, of all people? I mean, I know I do a lot for the store, but I don't know, just not what I was expecting. And the interview lasts, I think, about 36, 37 minutes. I know he said like 15, 20 minutes. He's like, yeah, I gave you a few more minutes. And I'm like, you just about let me go over double, I think. I could be remembering wrong as well, because like a lot happened today. So that part I'm not too sure about as far as the timing. I just know it was about 36 or 37 minutes. He gave me 3 pieces of paper, and he said, here's some like questions on here. Don't script it, whatever. Just like keep everything natural. Zero preparation time. And he was like, yeah, turn off your radio or whatever, so you're not distracted. I did the best I could. I actually didn't write any notes, not a single note. I remember a lot about her. Funny enough, she's also a YouTuber, very much more successful than I am. Went to college and actually finished college, so more successful than I am. Has many passion projects on the side, freelance stuff. I'm like, hey, that's really cool. The questions I asked were stuff along the lines of like, what's your work ethic like, and what positions did you apply for? Why here? Why anywhere else? And she was like, well, it's kind of convenient, and my parents were kind of making me. I'm like, really? Wow, there's a lot of stuff I'm really relating to. And of course, as soon as she mentions YouTube and animation and stuff, I'm like, okay, I know I'm interviewing her for a position at the store, but I'm like, now my hobbies are like a red zone. Like, hey, stay clear of this. I'm gonna get too far roped into talking about YouTube stuff. So I can talk about that for hours and hours and hours with the right person. And speaking of the right person, I'm gonna talk about. I'm probably gonna keep having more people on the channel, kind of like yesterday's episode, just talking with people through stuff. But I really wanted to kind of sit down tonight and just talk about this. So, interview goes well, and rest of the day is pretty normal. There's this one old grumpy guy who's, the word I'm gonna use to describe him is a bit of a butt, and that's because if you were there, you would know it, and it's funny, and the English language is an amazing thing. Uh, calling someone a butt. But anyways, I was like, hey, we've got a store credit card and all that. He had like a physical scorecard, and I was like, that's really cool, shopped with us for a while. And he just looks at me and he's like, I have more credit and money than you'll probably ever imagine. I'm thinking, wow, I want to kill this guy on the way out. Hopefully YouTube doesn't, whatever. I'm joking, just to clarify. But like, really? Thanks, I guess, for telling me that, random retail guy. Looking me dead in the eyes and just being weird. Old, white, entitled, grumpy guy. So that's always fun. Love our customers, clientele. And it's just funny because it feels like some days you've got a little bit of both of that. You've got like the good stuff, the cool stuff, like just randomly interviewing someone, which I know a lot of people would be stressed out of their mind doing that. I actually really enjoy that. I don't really think I have a social like comfort zone. I'm kind of fine doing whatever as long as it's in good faith. It's what I'm doing is good, you know? Often I look back on things and I'm like, hey, did I make the right decision here? And if not, well, go back and apologize, you know? Not too hard. Sometimes it's hard to get into the good habit, though, of just saying, hey, I was wrong in this scenario, or even just listening to people that you know are right, even when you don't want them to be, admittedly. But there's this huge duality there of people like that, and then people like my boss, who I honestly can't praise enough for the opportunities he's given me. I wasn't in the best place prior to working, and he's very much helped build me up and give me the tools to do what I can, and I think the only reason I've gotten so far is because of him. He had some very kind words to share with me prior to all this. He's like, hey, I'm a fan of you and your work ethic. Um, and I just want to keep building you up. And I'm like, I'm 21. I didn't think I would ever hear those words from my boss, much less literally anyone in the whole world. I mean, I'm 21. I didn't think I'd be interviewing someone when I walk in and to a place I haven't even been working a full year, you know? It's just absolutely insane to me. So I guess when I talk about surreal then, just to sort of pivot here, the whole unconscious mind and stuff, something I go back to a lot is when nobody gets what they deserve, just in life as a general statement, for better or for worse. So it kind of scares me when I see success and I'm like, I feel like I do deserve this, but I also don't want to think that either. Bible says to think of yourself with a sober mind, and I'm like, hey, kind of be dead to both criticism and flattery. It's like, be calm, be normal, don't think yourself too highly. Um, it's like, chill out. But also, it's exciting, you know? And I'm hoping it goes someplace in the future. Ultimately, still, I think my heart is, like, I do want to keep making YouTube videos and stuff, even if this is really dumb and boring, and I'm clicking seagulls on a screen, talking to myself, and how my day went. But I think there's also some merit to this for some reason, and we'll see where it goes from there, you know? None of these videos have been worthwhile to someone. Maybe someone else has had the exact same luck, and maybe we could talk about it sometime. But it's been neat. It really has. Afterwards, though, it was funny. I was talking with my manager about that, because my boss was the one who came up, and I was like, I've never thought something like that would happen. And she was like, I didn't either. uh, my boss was like, yeah, it's something I haven't even given some of the other people in leadership positions the opportunity to do yet, but he selected me for that, even if I was a little late this morning. Uh, which again, I don't want that to be the usual, and I think I am going to start stepping up, getting there on time, all of that, especially because he has been so generous to me. So, might as well sort of pay it forward, pay that back, and just do the best I can with what I have where I am. I don't remember if a president said that or if someone else said it. I remember being on the wall in one of my band instructors' rooms back in middle school, I believe. And the sad thing there is I don't think he's alive anymore. I'm pretty sure he actually cancer something. But yeah, like people go. Life's too fast, you know. It's too fast for us not to try. It's too fast for us to not give every day all of it, you know. And that's why I was like, hey, I got home today and I took a 4-hour nap. Because I was like kind of happy from everything, but also kind of pissed with that one old guy, and just work is a bunch of ups and downs, you know. And I feel like that's life as a whole statement as well. I look back on the American consumerism video, and there's other things I could talk about, like people just walking away while you're talking to them. I'm like, NPC behavior, like you're not done with the transaction, like you didn't pay for your stuff, like, you know. But it's not about that either. It's the world's not perfect, and I think the Bible says something along the lines of not hating. It's like, love your neighbor, but also hate the world, and you're like, that doesn't really make sense. I think it's more hate the system of the world, not hating your neighbor, if that makes sense. It's like, do the best you can for everyone around you, and I hope I'm not blaspheming any of this, but to do the best you can, but hate the things that people do that are wrong, if that makes sense. Like, if you know someone's doing something wrong, don't hate them, just hate the thing that they're doing because you know it's wrong. And that's kind of how you're supposed to keep that moral compass afloat. Which, I'm a 21-year-old, I don't know what half this is, and again, it's 2 in the morning, I'm doing my best here. But that's kind of my interpretation of that from someone who has not lived very much of life, but also wants to share what he does know with those that may not have experienced nearly as much. I feel like I've been yapping for a while, but yeah, I think that would be it for tonight's Sad Reality. I do try to keep things kind of brief. I always look back and I'm like, hey, I forgot this or that. But if I forgot it, then it means it probably wasn't that important to begin with. Um, so thanks so much for watching. Hopefully tomorrow night you get to tune in as well. Also, last night I was up doing my W9 for my other YouTube channel, so that was kind of fun, I suppose. Just random thing late at night, and I was like, ooh, taxes. And you know, it's actually not that hard. People get intimidated. It's just like one form, you just enter stuff, double click the PDF, make sure it actually filled in everything correctly, open it up in an actual PDF editor to make sure it's like filled in properly. If you open it in a browser, it doesn't load everything for whatever reason. But yeah, so late night things, and I guess that kind of explains why I was tired as well today. Anyways, all that said, thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your nights. Hope tomorrow is just as good as today was for me, for better or for worse. The good parts, the bad parts, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your night.